Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 ba-da-da-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, ba-ba-dum. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 ba-da-da-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-ba-dum-dum. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 ba, dun, 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 dun. Bum, ba, da, da, dun, 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 dun. Ba, dun, 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 dun. Hello, my friends. Good evening. Happy Independence Day. Oh, yes. Happy Independence Day. Not the 4th of July. It is Independence Day, and it is here for a reminder, a good reason. Hello, my friends. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Joette Calabrese, and I'm here every Monday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to discuss homeopathy and inadvertently your independence, my independence, all of our independence. And so, for those of you who do know me, I see all your names. God bless America from Green Bay. Yes, yes. Happy Independence Day from Grand Rapids. Absolutely wonderful. For those who do know me, thank you for joining me. As always, it's wonderful to see you. I wish I could see your faces. I know it sounds choppy. Sometimes it does. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Wish we had better reception. I'm right downtown Buffalo. Yes, here I am. I'm on. Thank you. I'm looking pretty in purple, says Jonathan. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, we're going to watch the fireworks display just as soon as we finish here. And I was just at my cousin's house for a huge picnic celebration, barbecue, and it was wonderful. It's just great. It's great to be home with family. It's really a very joyous thing to be around friends and family and celebrating independence. But we cannot take it for granted, can we, my friends? We cannot. I want you to think of health independence. This is not just one kind of independence, it's also health independence. And as I wrote as a teaser for tonight, I said, learn how to gird and broaden your shoulders so that no apparent loss of freedom, whether it's real or it's apparent or whatever, at what point it is, will affect you. And I also said, what appears to be an obstacle is really an opportunity for us to become the ultimate homeopathic expert. You know what? It's when we are afraid or worried or unsure of our other experts that we finally realize, uh-oh, I think it's up to me. And I think I've told this story before. Years ago, I had a homeopath who I had held high regard, and she was the homeopath to my husband, to me, and our only one child at the time. And she moved away and decided to retire. And I freaked. I mean, I absolutely freaked. I I didn't know what I was going to do. I also had a doctor who I adored, and she was quite elderly, and she passed away right around the same time. And I said, what am I going to do? How am I going to take care of my family? Who's going to take care of them? And so it was like going through the eye of a needle. I was pressing through, and I did not want to go through the eye of that needle. I didn't want to press through. I did not want to squeeze through this hole. What I wanted was somebody to be there that I could depend on. And then one day it dawned on me, oh my gosh, I have to depend on myself. This is about me taking this on for myself and my family. It doesn't mean I disregard everyone, but on a day to day basis, on a week to week basis, on a month to month, and even in many ways, year to year, I need to know how to take care of my family, owning and knowing the medicines we need. You are absolutely right. And there are tactics, there are methods that I have learned along the way. Many of you are, as I've told you, and I've said them, and you've come up with them on your own as well. And so, what I'm going to tell you are 5 main strategies for making sure that you have independence for yourself, your family, and your community. So, before I get started, I'm going to take a sip of water because I had so much sausage tonight. Excuse me for doing that in the middle of this conversation, but I have 5 strategies. The first strategy is kind of an easy one to know. It may not be easy to completely acclimate to, may not be easy to completely accomplish. It can take time to do this, but my friends, you need to know the protocols. You need to know homeopathic protocols. And if you don't have protocols, you at least have to have a repertory. But the protocols, this is Robin Murphy's repertory. And that's a little bit for people a little more advanced, but you need to know the protocols. And the way that you know these protocols is go to my blog. It's all free, my friends. It's free. It's for you. That's why I've done this for close to 13 years. Maybe it's longer. I have stopped counting. I've never missed a Sunday night of publishing my my blog. I never, not even one. Not even the week my mother died. Not the week my father died. It mattered not. I'm always there giving you more information. And I always am surprised when somebody on the blog, well, what do you do for prostate problems? And I say, this is what you do. You do this. Joette Calabrese prostate. What do you do for arthritis? This is what you do. Joette Calabrese arthritis. Because I've given you the protocols, my friends. Name of the condition, the name of the remedy, the potency of the remedy, and the frequency. And I often write an article around it, giving examples so you have an idea of how long it takes for something like this to act. You must know those. Now, let's say there's a big catastrophe in your neck of the woods. Blog is not available. Well, you know what, my friends, I would start writing collecting all of those remedy cards at the bottom. You need to have those. Many people print them out and put them in little boxes, or they put them in put them on 3x5 cards in little boxes, like a recipe box. Others put them in notebooks in 3-ring binders. You need to do this. You need this information, my friends. This is what's going to keep you from freaking. Now, I don't have every condition. I've been doing it for 13 years, 52 weeks per year, but there are thousands. Some say there are 6,000 conditions, 6,000 diseases that humans suffer from, approximately that. I don't know. Maybe that's so. So we got a long way to go. I got to live a long time to get all that information out to you. But the point is that as much as I put out there, you need to have. You need to own it. I do. Don't know. Many of my friends are members, and the mighty members get access to that as a printout, and that is something that you might want to consider doing is joining mighty members. Okay, that's number one. You need to know the protocols, and if you don't have a protocol, then you need to know where to find the medicines, what medicines to use for what condition. The next thing is if you know the protocols, but you don't own the remedies, what good is that? You need to own the medicines. Not all of them. You need to own many of the medicines, many of them. The top 100. Once you own the top 100 remedies, then go the top 300 remedies. And then by then, you've really got a very, very good little home pharmacy going there. Absolutely. You must own the medicines because what good is it if you go to my blog, it tells you what to use, and there's a catastrophe and you've got to wait 3 days before the pharmacy gets it to you? Oh, nay, nay. You need to have that in advance. So you have to know the protocols. Number two, you must own the main medicines. Third thing, you need a community. If your relatives are not on this, if your church mates, if your synagogue mates, whoever you hang out with is not into this, then you need to be part of a community online. That's an absolute. How can you do this alone? You must have someone to talk to about this. You must. You will go crazy. You will be beaten down. You will be frightened at 2 in the morning. You won't know what to do for your child with a high fever or for your husband who's complaining of shin splints. You must have friends of like mind. And how do you do that? Well, part of it is this. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt. Mighties, my mighties, Joette's mighty members. If you're not a mighty member, I urge you. It's very inexpensive to join. I think it's $9 a month, and if you get the whole year, it's less than that, something like that. But it is a bargain, my friends, because my mighties are together, and it is when you go from there, then you join the Gateway study group. Gateway to Homeopathy. Yes, Joette Calabrese Homeopathy. Very inexpensive. We've got many leaders all over the world, and we've had tens of thousands of people who have joined these Gateway to Homeopathy study groups that use my work to learn how to use homeopathy. And what happens? They don't just learn, they commune. They get to know each other. In fact, I hear all the time how they become best friends. Best friends online. Yes, best friends online. Or another way to do it is that's when you bring in your church mates or your best friend or your sister-in-law or better yet, your mother-in-law, your daughter-in-law. You bring these people into the fold. You want your life to be made easier, bring them into the fold. That's your job. You must bring them into the fold. You must do that. If you don't, and the peanut butter hits the fan, my friends, you are going to be wondering, who can I talk to about this? Is there anyone out there who has done this before? I wonder if she had that problem. I wonder if her husband suffered that. I wonder if her daughter suffered that way. You need to know these people. You need to make community, and it should be done now. Those things seem peaceful right now and everything's just fine and dandy. I'm sorry. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't mean to be skeptical. I'm a very optimistic person, but I think there's a lot of devious in the world today. And I think that it's important that you have a link to not one person, 15 people. 15. Okay. Gateway to homeopathy. First thing was know the medicines, know the protocols. Second thing, own the protocols. Third thing, community. You better know people. The next one is you must have, and if you don't already have this, and I think many of you do because I've gotten to know you through the years, find your tribe, you bet. The next thing is you must have guts, spunk, and moxie. You've got to have, yes, curiosity, but you've got to have more than that, my friends. You have to believe down to your toes how important it is that you know what to do or that you can say no thank you. You don't, when I say spunk and moxie, I don't mean that you're going to fight the government. I don't think for the sake of your family. I'm not saying that you're going to fight the hospital, the doctors, whatever. You don't want to fight, but you have to have that gut spunk and moxie in yourself, even if it's quiet. And then you do what you learn is best. If you don't know what to do, let's say there's an emergency in your household and you must go to the emergency room and you don't know what to do, you that is when you're going to learn like that how to take care of this homeopathically. It doesn't mean homeopathy takes care of everything. Obviously, there may need surgery, may need to be used. There may be a bone may need to be set. Of course, you're going to go to someone who is attuned to that, who is educated in that form. But you do not need every single of their requirements. Instead, you go, thank you. Oh, you're great. Oh, thanks. Yes. I'll get back to you on that. Yes. Oh, about this injection. Oh, I'll get back to you on that. Thank you. You're great. You have to learn how to have the gut, spunk, and moxie enough to be able to stand back and then say, okay, get home and start researching if you don't know, or contact your friends in your community. That's what your community is for. That's what it's for. That's for. You have control back control in your life. You need that control, my friends. We all need this. We all need this. You need healthy skepticism. I be skeptic, a skeptic about everything and everyone. Everything and everyone. I don't care how nice that doctor is. I don't care how nice that administrator is. I don't care how great that school principal is. Doesn't mean nice doesn't cut it. It's not about nice. It's about what is right for you and your family. That's it. What is best for you and your family. And the only way you know what is best for you and your family is because you have already started doing your homework. You already know. You already know what kind of school or whether or not they should even be in school at all. You already know what kind of medicine because you know homeopathy. And if you don't know it yet, you're going to learn it. You can do this, my friends. You can do this. I remember, and I've written about this on a blog. I remember when I went to that homeopath who I held in very high regard. My son was a babe in arms at the time, and we were in her office, and her daughter came in, and her daughter was maybe, I don't really remember, maybe 7 years old. Mama, feel. And my homeopath felt her forehead. Oh, honey, you have a fever. My stomach. I feel nauseous. She looked very sick. Her eyes were glassy. It was clear that she had a fever. She was very weak. And my homeopath got up from her chair right in front of me with my babe in arms, went over to a cabinet, opened the cabinet, got a homeopath out, poured it in, right just like that. Bam! Poured the medicine into the cap, poured it into her daughter's mouth, put the cap back on, put it back in the cabinet, closed the door, and she said, "Off you go, honey, go to daddy." She left the room, and my homeopath carried on with our about, I don't know, 45 minutes later, her daughter came back in the room. She said, "Mama, can I have something to eat?" Completely different demeanor. The fever melted away adroitly. The color came back in her eyes. She was no more glassy-eyed. She was no longer nauseous. In 45 minutes, that medicine turned that little girl around. And all I could think of at that moment was, I want that. That's what I want. I want to know what that woman did. I want to know what that mother did. I want to have my hand on the pulse of what it takes to raise a family in such a way that the mother said, "Oh, I've got to go to the doctors. Oh my God, she's got a fever. Oh, it's spiked. Take the temperature. Oh my gosh, we got to run." She was calm. She was collected. She was intelligent. She was self educated. Yes, my friends, self educated. And she cured her daughter. I want that, said I. I want that. I want to know how to do that. And that was the first step. Well, maybe it's the third step, excuse me, of wanting this so badly. And then, when that homeopath finished with her daughter, she went on to me and to my son, and she did the same thing with us. Now, we didn't have an acute. I had a chronic condition. I don't remember. I don't think my son was sick. I don't think that was wrong with him at the time, but I had him with me, and she helped me with my allergies. And she fixed me. Thank you very much, Diana, wherever you are, my dear Diana. Thank you very much. That's what I want for me, and I have it now. It's what I want for you. I'm not a young woman anymore, and I want you to know that if you're going to do anything in your life, my friends, this is it. This is it. This is where the ground that we stand on is firm, that our resolve is clear. This is it. And I hate to tell you, but we are at a precipice in the world. Not just this country, not just Canada. Oh no, not just Europe, the whole world. I have friends in the world through homeopathy. They have friends in India and Sri Lanka and Spain and Africa and England and Canada and all over the US through my homeopathy connections. And I'm telling you, it's the same everywhere. There is something big going on, and I know you know what I'm talking about, and you better be prepared. And I'm not telling you, I don't want to do this to scare you. What I want to do is I want to inspire you. One older woman, mother who raised her children to adults with this message, to women. It's never too late. And 3 medicines for 3. God bless you. When you learn those 3, go to learn 4, go to 8. You finish those, go to 16 and keep going. And keep going. And it's okay that your memory's not so good. What? Write it down on a 3x5 card. And take the protocols and tape them all over your house so that you learn them and memorize them. And if you don't memorize them, it's okay to put them in a book. Put them in a you need this. You need this. I want this for you. I want this for humanity. Next thing, I'm not saying they do have some value here and there, but stop somebody's sick going to the doctor. Stop that. No, 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 no. It's your job. It's not their job. Because when they go home, they forgot all about you and your child. You have to live with yourself and that child that night and the next day and the next day and then learn how to take care of. Stop depending on conventional medicine. Stop depending on the pharmaceutical industry. They are not there for us. They are there for one thing and one thing only, and it's profit. You are not here for profit, and neither am I. So stop with the medical world, conventional medical world, unless absolutely necessary. And again, I will say parenthetically, I believe in surgery. Surgery can be very valuable. There's no doubt, my friends. There are times emergency room care can be really life changing and life saving. There are times when modern medicine is really very valuable. But this ask your doctor business is for the birds. Going to the doctor just because you're a certain age, just to have a test, forget the test unless there's something wrong. When that's something wrong that you can't handle, you can handle it, my friends. Handle this. I know you can because I did. I'm not special. I know people give me all kinds of credit. All I am is tenacious. And I do have gunk and moxie, but I don't have any extra intelligence than anyone else has. I'm just like everybody else. Truly, truly, I'm just like everyone else. But and I've had more years into this than many of you. So I've done it for a longer period of time. Stop depending on media. Stop depending on corporations, government dictates. Get that stuff, get that television, get an axe and crack it across the face of it. I'm serious about this. I worked at NBC and I know I was there for a few years. And before that, I worked for an independent television station. I'm going to tell you, corruption was back in the 80s when I was there, in the early 80s. Now, oh, God. Most of you, I know this already. I know you know this. But I'm going to remind you, don't let your kids watch it. Don't let your husband watch it. Don't let your kids get on this. Get away from that stuff. It is intended to get you to think a certain way. So stop depending on others. Now, I'm going to tell you, I come from, and I've said this many times, I come from a family of Sicilians. Both my parents were born in this country, but all their older brothers and sisters, and of course their parents, were born in Sicily. My grandparents and my older uncles and aunts did not trust the American institutions. They just didn't trust. They didn't trust the Italian government that they came from, that screwed them. And then they came to this country and they could feel that same oppression against Sicilians back at the turn of the last century. They didn't trust. They didn't trust the doctors. They didn't trust anybody. They didn't trust the insurance agents. None of that. So they built their own Sicilian American community. And from that, my uncles and aunts and my cousins prospered amazingly. And a big part of what I learned early on was no, we do not depend on others. We do it within ourselves and our little built community. In fact, one of my cousins the other day, I'm going to be prideful right now, please excuse me. I'm old, 58 first cousins. I had no idea. On my father's side of the family, 58. And the older cousins were born around the same time my father was born. So their children became like my first cousins. So we had a built-in community. Most of them are gone now. So what my community now is my close-knit family that I have left, the few cousins that I have left, and my brother and my children and my close friends and my community of homeopathic friends. It is amazing. And you need this. We need each other. We do not want to go through another 2 years, the last 2.5 years. We don't want that again. Oh, nay, nay. We need to be prepared. Now, I'm not going to get into food. You know what to do about all of that stuff. I'm just telling you about homeopathy. I want when something hits your family, something happens, instead of saying, oh my God, what am I going to do? No, oh, I know what to do. I think I know what to do. Wait a minute. I think I've got this. Hold on. And go through your papers or your cards or your word document, whatever, however you keep it. That's what I want you to be able to do. And if you're not sure, then I want you to contact dear da 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 da, dear group. Anybody have any ideas on what I can do for this or that? That's what I want for you. That's what I want for all of us. Build community. Yes. Yes. Your family, Leanne says, notice I happen to be one of the lucky ones to have that, to have had that. But you need to build this and start now. And if you're homeschooling, teach your children homeopathy now. Read the blog I posted last night about my son who treated his girlfriend's dog from my blog. Mom, he said, I killed the dog. The dog afraid of fireworks for her entire life. She no longer is. Fireworks, she lifts her head, looks around for a second, and lays back down again without shaking. That's what I want you to have is a son like that, a daughter like that. And the only way you're going to have that is if you train them up. Okay. People are connecting now. I love it. It's beautiful. Mighty members, my friends, join Mighty Members if you're not already a Mighty Member. We need each other. I need you too. I didn't have you. Who would I be talking to? There was a time when I didn't have anyone to talk to about this. I had a little study group of about 7 or 8 of us, and we used to meet every Thursday night for 4 years and studied homeopathy with one. Each of us had one babe in the arms, and then our families grew, and we shared with each other. Okay. Okay, I'm seeing that you're doing this. Yes, study groups, study groups. And then when you're finished with the gateway groups, then you go to the next class and you study feminopathy. You learn how to treat female conditions from the time a female is born till the time the female enters the grave. Or you want all of the remedies in between. You want to know what to use for all of the female conditions. Or good gut, bad gut. I want you to know how to deal with blood sugar problems. I want you to know how to deal with bloating or irritable bowel syndrome or GERD or whatever else. You need this. You absolutely need this. I know you do because I needed it. And I'm no different than you. Beautiful. Beautiful. You're all talking to each other. Absolutely. You go, my girlfriends and guy friends. You go. Because if this hits the fan again, and it will, they're not laying down and saying, oh, well, we're done with this pandemic. Oh, no. Well, let's just give up. We don't care that the population is caught on somewhat. No, it's all right. Let's go play tennis. Don't think that for a minute, my friends. They are back at the drawing board and they're on this. They want control. I'm sorry to say this. Control. They want control of us because we are easier to control when we are afraid, and we will not be afraid. Ever again, we will not be afraid. Absolutely. Got to run to my study group, says Leanne. Yes. Now, if you don't know how to get to these courses and my study groups, etc., just go to joettecalabrese.com and hang around there. You can always scroll down to the bottom and you can contact Eileen. She's fabulous. Eileen is there all helping people. But how to become that is right there. I didn't answer any questions. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to get this passionate. I really was just going to say, I'll give you the 5 strategies that I've used. So, my friends, I love you all. I really do. I love that you're here. I love that you're with me. I love that we are together. We are a freaking force. We are the correction. We're the correction. Here we come. We're going to correct, starting with our families and our community. And then we're going to antidote all the fear and all of the lies and all the garbage that's been thrown at us. We are going to make this correction. And I'm going to be right here with you because I love you all. Mwah! God bless all of you. I will see you next Monday. And I probably won't be on a soapbox next Monday. I just got all riled up with the fireworks and everything. Bye, everyone. Love you.